Hello and welcome to part 4 of the series on how to create the Twitch UI with ReactJS. In this part we are going to create the icon button and we are going to finish the navigation section. So let's get started right away. So to get started we are first going to create the vertical divider inside the navigation bar. So right here you see the browse and the esports link, and in between them there is a vertical divider. As you can see in our application we don't have that yet. So if we open up our navigation section and we insert a new div in between our browse and esports section, and we call it divider, and it will refresh the page, we will see that we have our divider right here. But we actually want it to be a line which is really thin and really tall. So we are going to remove this text and we're going to give a class to our div, which will be vertical divider. Next we are going to open up our app.css, and right here we are going to create the class vertical divider, and we are going to say that we want to give it a fixed height of something like 50 pixels, and then a border right of 1 pixel solid, and then for example white. So as you can see we now have a divider, but it's way too big. So instead of saying height 50 pixels, let's give it a height of 80%, maybe 70%, yes, like so. I'm actually going to decrease it to 65%, and then we want to make the divider not white but a little bit grayish. So we're going to say RGBA 255 and then 0.5, maybe even darker, 0.2, and then 0.1. Yes. So now we have successfully created the divider, and we can actually reuse it by just inserting a new div after esports. And as you can see, we have a second divider, but right now we only need one. So good job, we have created the divider. So next up, we are going to create the icon button. The icon button that we are going to create is this one, and we are going to use icons for that. So which icons are we going to use? We are going to use the material UI icons. So I'm going to look up how we are going to import them, and we are first going to run npm install material UI icons. So I'm going to execute that command and I'll be back in a second. So now that it has installed this package, we are going to install the second package, which is material UI core. So now we install this and I'll be again back in a second. So now our second package is installed as well. I'm going to close this command line and I'm going to look where we can find the icons. So let's see if we can browse. I think I saw it right here. Yes. And the icon that we want to find is the triple dot horizontal. So I think it's called more horiz, and we can import it like so. So before I'm going to do that, we are going to create a separate component for our icon button. So in our components, we are going to create a new folder, icon button, and we are going to create two new files, icon button.tsx and the icon button.css. We are going to import React from React, like so. We are going to import our CSS, and we are going to export the function, and we're going to return a button, and let's see, we are going to say icon button. So now we have our icon button. We are also going to import it in our navigation section. So right here we are going to import an icon button, like so, from our components, and if we save this up, we hopefully, yes, we will see our icon button. So now that that one is working, we are going to import the icon from the material UI. So let's see, right here we are going to import more horiz from this, and then right here we can just say, instead of button, we can, I think, say this. And right now we see our icon appearing, but let's see how it is being rendered inside of the page, because right now it's just an SVG. So I think we are going to keep the button around it. Let's see, I'm going to copy this to there, and if we save this up, yes, now we get a nice button with the icon inside of it. So let's see, first things first, we are going to install the button. We are going to give it a class, icon button, and then we are going to style it in our CSS. So the first thing that we are going to do is we want to, remove the background color of the button. So background of none, like so. We want to give the icon a color of white, like so. Then we want to remove the border. Nice. And then we actually want to center the icon inside of the button. So as you can see right now, if I revert the background, or if I say that we want a background color of purple, we can see that the icon is not being centered inside of the button. So to do this, we are going to give the button a display of flags, like so. And then we are going to say align item center and justify content center. And now the icon is centered inside of the button. So that's good. And to finish it off, we want to make the button a square. So we are going to do that by giving it a fixed height and a fixed width. So I'm going to leave the background color so we can see what is actually happening. And right here I'm going to say height of, 48 pixels and a width of 48 pixels as well. And I think that's way too big. 32? Yes. So 32 is fine. I think maybe we can even go to 28. Yes. Good. Okay. So next up, we are going to remove the background color, like so. And we have a nice button, which is looking really cool, but we want to add a hover effect to it. So when we hover over the button, we want it to be a little bit lighter. So we're going to say dot icon, dot icon button hover, and we're going to say background color, which will be RGBA, and then 255, and then 0.2, something like that. Yes. Nice. Okay, and then we want to have a border radius. So I think we actually want that by default. 5 pixels, something like that. Yes. Looking good. And I think we might want to decrease that to 4 pixels. Yes. And then we want to make the cursor a pointer when we hover over it, like so. So now we have a pointer, and here as well. So we actually have created the icon button already, but there's one thing you can notice, and that is that the icon button right here has a tooltip, which is more, and right here we don't have a tooltip at all. So we are going to create the tooltip. Inside of our button, we're going to create a span, which will be a class name of tooltip, and we're going to call it, more. So this is hard coded at the moment, and as you can see, well, it is not appearing that good, and it is actually always visible, which is also not what we want. So we are going to fix that. We are going to target the, what was it called? Tooltip. And we're going to give it a position of absolute, like so. And then we want to say that we want a top of 150%. And I think it has all the way gone to the page. And to fix that, we are going to give a position of relative to our icon button. So now the tooltip is relative to the icon button. You can actually not see it because the content section is in the way. So I'm just going to disable that for the moment. Right here we have our content.tsx, and I'm just going to remove this. I'm going to say content, like so. I'm going to close those and this one. So now we see our more tooltip. Good. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to give a background color to our tooltip, because as you can see right here, it has a white background color. So in our tooltip, we're going to say background color white, and we're also going to change the text to a black color, because otherwise we won't be able to see the text. We're also going to give a little bit of padding to our tooltip, 4 pixels, and a little bit of border radius, also 4 pixels, like so. So now we have our basic tooltip. We are going to add the font family to it. So I don't think it is picking up Roboto as a font family. So if I specify it like so, we will have our font family displayed right here. And to finish it off, we actually want to have an arrow at the top. And to achieve that, we are going to use the After Effect. So in our icon button, and in our tooltip we are going to target the after element. I'm going to give it a content of nothing, and then we want to say that we want to position it absolute. And right now we won't see anything, but if we open up our browser, we'll see that in our span we have an after element right here, and we are going to style it. So we're going to say that we want a bottom of 100%, a left of 50%, margin left of -5 pixels, a border width of 5 pixels, border style of solid, and then we want to give it a border color of transparent, white, and then transparent, like so. And if we remove this, we will see our nice little tooltip arrow appearing at the top. So that's really neat, looking great, but there's missing one thing, and that is that our tooltip is appearing always, and we want it only to appear when we hover over the button. So we're going to fix this by giving it a visibility of hidden by default, so now we won't see it. And when we hover over this tooltip, or hover over this icon button I mean, we want it to be visible. So right here we already have the hover effect. We are going to say that we want to target the tooltip as well. So icon button hover tooltip, and then we're going to say visibility visible, or so, like so. And now when we hover over the icon button, we will see our tooltip. So that's looking great. Nice, good job. So to finish it off, we are going to make the tooltip a little bit bigger. So instead of saying a padding of 4 pixels, we're going to give it a padding of 5 pixels, like so. And we are also going to give a little bit of a delay to the tooltip. So as you can see, when I hover over it, it takes maybe 0.2 seconds before it shows up. So it's a nice little delay which keeps the tooltip from opening up, and at our application the tooltip immediately opens up. So we are going to apply that transition by saying transition, and then we want to transition the visibility, and then we can say in our hover effect that we want to give it a transition delay of 0.2 seconds. So if we hover over it, you can see that it is now appearing after 0.2 seconds. That's nice. So to finish it off, we are going to fix one error, and the error is written in here in the console, and it says image elements must have an all prop either with meaningful text or an empty string for decorative images, and it's in our navigation section.tsx. So right here we have an image for the logo. So to fix this, we are going to give it an alternative name, which is Twitch logo. And if we save this up, we will see our compiler error disappearing. And now when the image is not being loaded in, it will display the text Twitch logo, so everyone knows that this image will be the logo of Twitch. So good job. I hope you could follow along. I want to thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, and see you in the next episode. Goodbye.